Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Go ahead, hit the like, hit the share, subscribe if you haven't already. I find it ironic looking at all these trending topics lately and how different people's attitude would be with this Kim and Kanye saga if Kim would have been a black woman. All these people want to play these games where they say protect black women, nobody cares about the black women, all this propaganda to fuel Me Too. But nobody talks about the toxic behaviors and attitudes that we see on display every single day by so many artists, so it begs you to ask the million-dollar question. What was so special about Robert Kelly that all of these people will ignore the common sense and even the fact that people came up with this Child Protection Act because so many people used to pimp out their children, so to say. So when we see these parents always running to the industry with their children, it should leave you to ask, why isn't anyone talking about the exploitation within that? Especially when the most popular person trending right about now is Kim Kardashian, and we all know how her mother brokered her little deal that would have shunned so many other black girls. Let's think about all those artists that have come back out from the past that have blasted these record labels and their slave contracts, that have blasted these idols that people worship so much, thinking they're such a great person, only to find out they're exploiting so many young artists each and every time they sign them to these contracts and don't properly inform them what's going on. So just imagine all those girls from that time period who can peep game to this Me Too agenda and realize they can benefit more if they start to fall in line and call out those people who took advantage of them. Now, I said all that to say this very thing. It's absolutely no problem with people realizing they were cheated out of certain deals, but there is a problem when people start attaching to certain movements to bring individuals down with wicked agendas just because they're dissatisfied with their poor decisions. Now, there are real victims out here affected by the industry. So all a person like me can say is that real victims should fall in line with filing police reports and doing what they should do, instead of engaging in all this behavior we see on social media. And we know how it would play out if all these women that look like Kim Kardashian actually look like Aaliyah, and all this stuff they are glorified for doing, including exploiting their own children, would be talked about. But what makes matters worse is these brown men who are co-signing with Kim Kardashian and trying to make Kanye West look crazy as hell when clearly he's voicing valid points that go above people's heads. So this goes back to people bringing their personal problems public. So just imagine when people can continuously bring their personal problems out to the public, people start building indictments based on the stories these people get on platforms talking about. People bypass the fact that they don't have the substantiating evidence to back up the claims, and people are willing to run with the rumors people have let go unchecked for so long. People will ignore the blatant statements that shows the inconsistencies within these stories, ignore these so-called victim statements that clearly lets us know they're not victims, in order to fill their agendas and manipulate the law. And people, again, skip around the facts and all these people who were complicit if what you believe about the rumors you hear are true, and the level of accountability that should be held out. But instead, people on this YouTube zone fail to realize a lot of people get caught up in bullshit and indictments when people around them get caught up doing stupid shit. So with that being said, watch your circle.
Yo, can I with you? What?
ACT, you see this?
Look, if it ain't official Dana J, Levi for Kelly, Primadonnanews, I don't even want to see it. Just take the time. Look. You got some weed? Dang. Gotta get some. Alright, hurry up. These of them here, everybody here, we waiting on you. Alright.
I woke up like this. I woke up like this. We flawless.
It say a lot when we watch all these people who've made so much money off of Robert Kelly side up with these individuals, or even just stand by quietly as they watch his downfall, knowing that these people went into overdrive, tainting possible jury pools, and not only that, but ensuring this man did not have the financial luxury to defend himself. So just imagine my surprise when I see all these individuals who call themselves associates and or are linked to associates coming to YouTube and other platforms to share their stories, only to corroborate certain narratives that have been put out there. But of course, we know these young men with similar stories don't get that same outcry that we got with these surviving R. Kelly stories. And it's just interesting seeing all these other associates continue to partner up with Lifetime, and then when the story obviously doesn't match up with the facts of these people's lives, then everybody want to get to looking crazy.
Fans are in groups talking about how it helped them to become better people or save their lives. It's overwhelming. It's too much love in it, and you get it from the horse's mouth instead of on paper from a, reporter.
Isn't it interesting? No matter what artist it is, when scandal arises, there's individuals who handle those problems for them legally. However, as I have tried to explain to other individuals, some people's poor decisions cost Robert Kelly a lot, and the way they poorly handled the situation intensified all the stories that were put on these platforms who have greatly profited from this man's musical career, as well as this janky-ass production aired on Lifetime. So for the record, if anybody was confused as to who I gave credit to who came on these platforms making things worse, volunteering information that they could have kept to their damn self, instead of interfering with a federal investigation, helping people secure their assets for their forfeiture, and demonstrating the hypocrisy that people in the South see every day, and how this whole judicial system is not about justice. It's all about how you can razzle people's emotions, and that is a fact. So in conclusion, if you allow people to put out narratives like nobody cares about the black woman, these people are exploiting children, and you bypass the obvious corruption within these narratives that were used in these indictments, including a deceased person, it should tell you why Black Lives Matter is a joke, and why so many people will never receive the proper justice as they await their day in court, just like Robert Kelly. As I said 3 years ago, it should be a big-ass red flag knowing that these people had to put all this so-called evidence on social media just to try to claim copyrights and hide the information, knowing that real people will see the deception and how these people manipulated the law and violated Robert Kelly's rights. To add insult to injury, to have these so-called parents who came out with these scandals in the first place caught up in lie after lie are seen intimidating witnesses, among other things, including conspiring to put together this janky-ass docuseries to fool his supporters. But at the end of the day, a lot of the things that I have documented about the case was to raise awareness to the janky shit we see playing out publicly that should raise red flags, so that when you ask legitimate questions about the case, and all these people can say is, but he married married Aaliyah, but he had sex with this underage girl in a video. And all these grown-ass motherfuckers tell you they watched the video, and don't nobody say nothing's wrong with that. I can't even take half these people serious. Many of these people involved in these stories have publicly admitted to crimes, yet they weren't charged, and all this fake outcry has been generated toward Robert Kelly. And I was supposed to be misled by this fake-ass gorilla pimp who would tell you some stupid-ass shit like if it was some white girls, Robert Kelly would been in jail, knowing the obvious fucking fact, if they were white girls, Robert Kelly would be beyond in jail. And that's a fucking fact. I'm supposed to take all these men from the area serious, talking about all these women out here telling these stories on every street corner, and ain't nobody did shit. But you need the internet to tell you nobody cares about the black girl. The fuck out of here.
People like Me Too movement who played a role to get a part of a goddamn TV series to be their name affiliated with it, and I ain't get a phone call. Even from Tanya Burks. So let's stop making people false heroes. And I'm not saying that about anybody, because not the nation, because I know Minister Farrakhan, he definitely spoke. I think he had a private meeting with him. Nobody really know what the depths of the meeting went, but I know he did have a meeting with him. But these other ones that was a part of Lifetime and all this shit, we need them. We need them to step up and them to act like they plan a platform. All we doing is playing on each other as black people. That's it. For fame and fortune. That's it. I want to say that, Lo, and I don't mean to cut you off. I got to say this. I got to say it. I see who Tasha Unwind on here. I see you. You're a good person. I want to see all these other bloggers that's on here.
Look, Angelo couldn't even keep a straight face with that shit.
I want you to take what I'm going to say to you right now. Right now. You got a big platform. I really need for you to hear me clearly. I need everyone who said what happened on that Lifetime documentary, hold them accountable. Hold Lifetime accountable. Hold Blue and Mary accountable. Hold these people accountable to make sure these people can go on Lifetime and say what they said happened. Hold these people accountable, make sure they talk to Kim Fox. Make sure they talk to Carl Howard. Make sure they talk to Homeland Security. Make sure they talk to the FBI. These people are waiting to hear from you. From my knowledge, some of them have not heard from you. And if you haven't talked to them, well, shame on you.
All of this, you're going to see this in future testimony, but Azrael knows where everything is. When I say the tape, she knows who's who. She knows where the bank accounts are, where the money is. She knows who's using who. Not seen what we've been trying to show you, that you've been brainwashed. But once she watched that documentary and she read the emails that I sent over to her, that he was sending to Joycelyn, telling Joycelyn the same things that he told her, hiding other tapes for Azrael, just like London on the Track's mom was doing, Cheryl, I forgot her last name, Cheryl Mack or whatever. And so I'm trying to tell you without telling you too much, because like I said, this is a federal case, and I've even helped out the feds with all the information that I've been given. So I was working with the Department, was it the Department of State? Homeland Security, one of them damn please. Homeland Security, my lawyers were to hand them over everything that we had received.
Yeah, I talked to Angela now. You gotta get rid of Mason, and you have to get rid of this public, because they are working with Avenatti. This was a whole, like, this Gail King thing. They knew about this from like weeks ago, like they've been planning this. I know you don't probably want to listen to me, but please, you cannot let him do this interview on Monday. Like, all this stuff is a plan to just like flip you a
cannot let who do an interview?
This Daryl Johnson guy. The guy who's supposed to be like the publicist or whatever.
Rip me apart how?
Get you away.
Rip me apart how?
Like, it's just all things. Like, I don't know.
No. Just be specific. Be specific. Rip me apart how?
I don't know the how.
Okay, I want you to find out. I want you to find out how and let me know.
And when I drop the videos, the pictures, the paperwork, for him to get on live to say that Azrael is not right in R. Kelly, really? Now, I gave him R. Kelly's jail records. Ask him how he got R. Kelly's jail records. Ask him how I got the emails between Azrael and R. Kelly. So you mean to tell me I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about?
The article state that the other person was in trouble. It did not. It did not. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. You think we don't know? And I'm not saying that they can't pull no shit, but what I'm saying is I'm talking about the article at hand. There was a reason why the article didn't say what it said. And for people to make all these assumptions and oh boy, to be a lawyer, you should know. If the feds got something, they ain't gonna announce it. They already got it. And if they gonna do something with it, they gonna do something with it. Ain't gonna be no reporter letting people know ahead of time what's going on. When you hear Fed investigation, everybody know that. Guess what? You hear after they've made arrests, okay? You hear after that.